You get a tariff, you get a tariff, you get a tariff. And we get increased expenses. That is where we are right now. And it's affecting all of us because the tariff imposed on the imports of the other countries are paid by the U.S. vendor importing that item. So what happens is they have increased costs and they have to find a way to offset those costs because they can't possibly absorb all of it. And you have to think about it as a small business owner. As your costs go up, what do you have to do in order to maintain your business? You find other ways to cut costs, yes, but then you have to increase your prices. So we're all feeling this as just individuals that are living here, spending money, those of us who are not billionaires, and as small business owners, you're wondering, okay, what does this mean for my business, for my small business, and what do I need to do? So I'm here to offer some advice. The first is try not to let it stress you out. Yes, I know it is stressful and we're going to stress, and that's not financial advice, I know, but what you don't want to do is add an additional medical expense because blood pressure medication isn't free, right? You don't want to add an additional medical expense when costs are going up. So try not to let it stress you out. All right, focus on the things you can immediately control. What can you immediately control in your business? Your costs, your pricing, and whether or not you seek debt financing, right? So let's start with costs. You want to scrutinize your costs. And yes, some of you may say, oh, I look at my costs all the time, every week or every month, but we do not scrutinize things to the level of getting down to the nitty gritty and the details until things are in flux and in chaos. So I guarantee you can find a way to go through your costs and find areas that you can save, right? So one area, for example, is sure you can go through and look at your technology, your systems. What systems are you using? You may have system 1, 2, and 3 where they are great at that one thing they do, but they do have the capability to do things within the other systems. Maybe not to the same extent as the other system, but it may be enough for what you need in your business right now. So find areas where you can consolidate those systems, right? And save some money. So find ways where you can cut costs in your technology, in your supplies. You can look at things like your labor and your resources. If you have a small team, if you have a team, look at your skills of the people that work for you and their interests. You may have someone on your team that does one thing who's interested in something else. Someone here that may have the skills to say with the systems, right? They may be able to do what that other person does. Maybe not at that level, but for where you are in your business, you probably only need their skill set. Also, you want to look at maybe if you have someone you trust and you can share systems with them, find someone you can trust and you can barter. Maybe you barter with someone. I provide fractional CFO services and accounting services to small business. You may provide marketing services. I need to work on my content. You need someone to help manage your book. So you need some financial insight to help to build a financial strategy that matches your business strategy. They have services they need and they have services you need. Find a way to barter those services. So go through your costs, scrutinize your costs, and see where there are areas to cut costs or, barter services with some other business owners. Back to the first thing I said is try not to let it stress you out, because you don't want your blood pressure going up and then you can't think right. Just put together a plan. Remember, we're all in, we're feeling the impact, right? So those of us in certain tax brackets, we're feeling it. We're all trying to figure out what to do to get past this. You're not alone. And, reach out to your support system as well as with that. Find your support system, reach out to them. This is a time where if you don't like to ask for help and talk to people you trust. They're going to help you think through things and get things set up.